Welcome to the Fasting Podcast, Wow, Wellness and Optimal Weight. I'm your host, Julie Phillips, certified natural health professional for 2 decades, bringing you episode 112, Blood Sugar and Fasting. I'd like to introduce you to my sponsor for this episode, which is Fast Bar, the only bar scientifically formulated for intermittent fasting. Products are plant-based, free of GMO, gluten, soy, and dairy, and it's keto-friendly, nut-based nutrition bar that can also be incorporated besides with fasting, low-carb, plant-based, gluten-free, or just clean eating approaches. The 5 flavors are nuts and honey, lemon berry, cacao chip, dark cocoa, blueberry acai. The benefits seen in a randomized control study, Fast Bar has the same impact on your glucose levels as water alone. Amazing. If you are interested in getting an additional 15% discount on the already discounted products, go to fastbar.com and use the code TFP for the Fasting Podcast. There's some important things to understand if you're a person that already has known blood sugar issues. And even if you do not have them yet, many people are considered what we call insulin resistance, and they just don't know it. When we eat good complex sugars such as organic fruit, they can actually fuel our cellular battery or mitochondria to help make what we call ATP energy to drive the body and make it healthy. Insulin is the key, which is a hormone that unlocks the cells for glucose to enter. Many people eat too much simple sugar, including when we eat refined white bread or pasta. It breaks down into sugar in the body, the bad kind of sugar, and it can make our cells what we referred to as insulin resistance. So picture putting your hands over your ears and saying, I'm tired of it, I can't stand it, I'm just giving up. So the cells can actually tend to stop listening to the insulin. And what's terrible is that the insulin can back up in the blood, causing inflammation. The sugar can back up in the blood, getting sticky, and it can stick to fats and proteins in the body. This is called glycation, or premature aging. When a person takes the glycated hemoglobin A1C test, you've heard of people with blood sugar issues talking about their A1C score. This is measuring how much premature aging, the sugar in the blood sticking to the protein of the blood, and that's glycated. And when glycation occurs in the skin, it can be linked to wrinkles, or in the arteries, clogged arteries. And when it's linked to eyes, it could be cataracts, those type of things. So really, this whole blood sugar issue is absolutely crucial. And most people know that if you already know that you're experiencing diabetes, you're at risk of very serious diseases like cardiovascular diseases and cancer, let alone blindness and neuropathy, are known to be major issues associated with often diabetes. High levels of insulin in the blood, not only can they cause inflammation, but guess what? Insulin is the hormone of fat storage, so it can unlock the fat cells and store excess carbs and sugar into the fat cells as fat. And when we have imbalanced blood sugar, we can experience cravings. Sometimes it can feel like a roller coaster where it goes up and down, and we can gain weight because of these cravings and out of balance blood sugar. Now, those that do have known blood sugar issues, it can cause not just difficulties, but actual danger during fasting. So those individuals should unequivocally check with their doctor before and during fasting if they're going to attempt even intermittent fasting, because the blood sugar could go too low, and if you're on medication, we don't want it driving the level below the minimum amount, causing serious issues. So unequivocally, fasting can be a major issue. So it must be done carefully and with a doctor's guidance if you have blood sugar issues. But guess what? The good news, these same people that have blood sugar challenges, they may have the opportunity to say goodbye to those issues if they use fasting effectively and properly. Now, there are different things you can do to help make the blood sugar handling easier or better. And believe it or not, we could have the concept of arresting the pancreas if we keep, and also helping the body repair the cell membranes with the good omega-3 fats. And that can occur with effective fasting, where you dump all the refined sugar and keep the complex sugars and carbs very low if you're trying to rest your pancreas. But please always consider eating all natural and organic varied diet whenever possible. In my many years of experience with protein isolate technology, the really high quality protein powders, they can have a very positive effect on blood sugar levels. In fact, not just regular type 2 diabetics reported incredible results with the protein isolate, but also the true type 1s that were passing out at school at age 10 also talked about how much insulin was being needed with their pump. So protein isolate is a big tool. Yes, protein in general can be very positive, but protein isolate, I believe, is especially positive effect, and fiber can have a very positive effect on the blood sugar and can aid with fasting results, helping to soak up toxins out of the colon and detox and help pull those out of the body. So fiber, you can get it in a lot of your high fiber foods, and you also could take fiber as a supplement. Now, if you're doing a prolonged fast and you're going to attempt to do enough days where you get the stem cell activation, the human growth hormone, then you really could have arresting the pancreas concept, but major caution and doctor interaction required if you're blood sugar challenged. Now, on the intermittent fasting perspective, it can help give the pancreas a break. For example, if you're going to keep your eating to a 8-hour window or a 6-hour window, giving it either 16 or 18 hours of resting, and you're also eliminating the non-organic foods and keeping your carbohydrates very low, you're going to help with sugar and inflammation. So this could be a major asset just doing the intermittent fasting. In fact, some doctors that are experts in fasting use it as a major tool for people with blood sugar challenges. Now, there is one of my favorite supplements that I've been using and recommending for about a decade is what I call mitochondria nutrients. And they're super helpful with blood sugar balancing. And there was a clinical study that had 767 people that were diabetic on medications and insulin, some of them, and in over 90 days, without changing anything in their diet or exercise, 90.2% of all participants saw a change to normal or near normal levels with no negative side effects. And in fact, more than half the participants, much more, reduced their medication and or insulin injections with their doctor. If you want more detail on that, just contact me, Julie, at jpwowprograms.com. And you remember in the beginning we talked about our sponsor for this episode. They offer tasty bars, my favorite bars actually, with an equal blood glucose level as water in their clinical study. So if I was in a fasting window, if I felt I needed to eat something, maybe a half a bar midday and a half a bar maybe 4 hours later, I wouldn't feel like that was impacting my blood sugar. Check out our website, jpwowprograms.com, and please refer others to the podcast and YouTube. Stay positive, focused, and determined, because where the mind goes, energy flows.